Now, do you leave this burning tonight?
No, I'll buy how that it sheets off of my scoop and how that it streams as to how thick water on them. And you can see how it's just like throwing a wet blanket on that fire.
Hey guys, we're here at Cades Cove at the in the Great Smoky Mountains in East Tennessee, and most of you that watch the Appalachian Channel know Mark Guenther. And we did 12 episodes. We made a whole year, a whole season of the Gunther family and the different things they do. We're starting a second season, and we're going to do another 12 episodes, I hope, coming up. So Mark comes for 23 years now. Started in 2000, is that what you?
In 2000, yes.
Coming here and doing the demonstrations at Cades Cove. And we're going to come back here and film on the 16th and 17th of November. And we'd like to invite you all to come out.
Absolutely, that
meet
would be
Mark
great.
And to see the mules. What's the name of the mules?
So the mules here, the one here behind me is Ida, and the one on the other side is Maddie. They're my mules. I raised them, and just part of the family, and some good girls. And yeah, and I want to say thank you to you, John, for all that you've done for us, and how that these YouTube videos have been so wonderful, and have let so many people know about us and what we do, and how we are trying to preserve a little history. And that's the reason that we're here in Cades Cove, is doing an old-timey sorghum making demonstration to try to show and preserve a little history. And it seems like so much history is going by the way, and is I don't know, I don't want to get that disappearing. There you go. And we're just adamant about sorghum making, and we travel and do this. And so on the 23rd, we're going to tell you all about it. So come out and see us, and if you can't make it, be sure and watch the Appalachian Channel.
Yeah, you'll be here. We're going to be here the 16th and 17th. You said the 23rd.
Okay, sorry.
You'll be here the 23rd, though.
Yes, we will be here the 23rd.
We won't be here, but we're going to come and camp with you all. We're going to bring our motor home and camp at a place that he stays. So we're going to be spending that the 16th of November, that Thursday night. We'll be camping
with us.
We'll be here Thursday after. We'll get here about 11 or 12 o'clock on Thursday. Then we'll be here all day on Friday with Mark and Sherry. So we want you all to come out and experience Cades Cove. Most of you's probably been here, but this is just a little promo clip to tell you about the upcoming second season. And we want to tell the Gunther family how much we appreciate you all for putting up with us and letting us film you all. We've already got scheduled for on the 9th to start filming with Holly, and the ladies are going to be doing some cooking.
Right, wonderful.
At your mom and dad's house there.
Right.
And so we're going to do some, I think they're going to make some of the family recipes.
Some of the family recipes,
That's coming up. So, but make sure the 16th and 17th, if you can't make it, you can always watch, like you said, on YouTube. And there's 12 full episodes now on the first season of the Gunther family on YouTube. And we hope to see y'all on the 16th and 17th. Bye-bye.
Thank you all very much for watching. Bye.
Here. Let's check it.
How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing good. We're making sorghum syrup here. Right now I'm doing some skimming. We had the mules out here, and we're grinding and making juice. And that juice is what we were boiling here. And as it boils, this green foam boils out of it. Very important to skim it off. The good juice just stays boiling in there and gets until it gets thick.
What is the green foam?
It's actually chlorophyll.
Interesting.
Although doctor tells you that chlorophyll is healthy and good for you, but I promise you, chlorophyll boiled into the sorghum makes it very strong and bitter. So it's very important to try to get as much of the green out of it as possibly can. And so we're doing a little demonstration of the old-timey way how it used to be done. That would have been an original mill out there in the field that people used when they lived here, and then that was the furnace, that was the pan that was used when people lived here. And I built this little stove here and come here to the park and do a little demonstration of days gone by.
So cool.
Yep.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for visiting the park. So I could actually use a thermometer doing this. It needs to get to about 228 to 230 degrees hot, but I don't use a thermometer. A thermometer is a little bit slow in responding because there's really not any. The skimmings, I use the skimmings here, and I just fed to the mules.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I put those skimmings on their hay. They absolutely love that. Yep. But anyway, back to the thermometer. Because of all the bubbles, a thermometer is a little bit slow in responding to give an accurate reading continuously. So after you do it long enough and you learn how that it needs to sheet and flake off of there, you can see the thickness of it. And then you can also see, you see how those bubbles are getting larger and sort of a cavity down into them. That's also what I go by. And then of course, obviously the fire is at this end, so the hot spot is over here, and I have to keep it stirred a little bit as the flames are sucked through here and the smoke goes out that chimney. It's a bit cooler on this end, and so I just sort of keep it stirred, the cool spot stirred into the hot spot.
Mark, did you build this?
Yes, I built this little stove. So back a little over 30 years ago, when I started doing sorghum making demonstrations away from the farm, I had never heard of such a thing. I thought it was impossible to build a stone and clay furnace such as they would have here in the Smoky Mountains, and I came up with this little design and started building them, and I've built several of them for myself and other people. They actually work pretty good. It's made out of 1/4-inch steel plate, and it's lined with fire brick, and yeah. So you can see now these bubbles, how they're changing. They're really getting thick. And so yeah, it's this thing is very heavy, but I have an axle that goes on it, and these little legs that stand at an angle, and a tongue that hooks to the front of it, and hook it up to the ball on your pickup truck, and pull up, and it raises this thing up, and these legs tilt that thing up and put the axle under it, and down the road we go. So you can see there those bubbles, and that is sheeting and stringing well enough. So I'm going to slide this in on top of the fire and smother my fire up. So these are actually dry enough. Without me putting that water on them, they would burn immediately. But by putting a little water on them, and you can see how it's just like throwing a wet blanket on that fire and smothers the fire out. Makes pretty bad smoke, and I will close the door on it, and it will give me enough time to get the batch of syrup off without scorching.
How many years you been coming here to the park, Mark?
I started here in 2000 here in the park, and so this would be our 23rd year, except for the year in COVID. They didn't allow us to come because of COVID. There was too many. They were afraid there was going to be too many people too close together, so we did not come during the year of COVID. So I guess it's our 22nd year. So now then, a little added thing that I did to this, probably not very old-fashioned, but it works very well. With this little jack, just tilt the whole thing forward, and the whole batch just sort of leans to the front, runs out this little spout right here. And that's the finished sorghum. Everybody's going to say, well, that looks way too thin. And it does look thin, but it being 228 or 230 degrees hot is what makes it look that thin. So the way I got started coming here, the Smoky Mountain Park was, they were buying sorghum from us, and they buy it from us throughout the year, and they buy lots of it, like pallets of it. You know, we bring it to them here, and so they wanted somebody to demonstrate the old-time way, you know, of sorghum making, and I was already doing some of that at some other state parks, and it worked out great. And I guess this year we were here for 4 weekends in September, and we plan to be here every weekend now in November this year. We did not come in October, but we plan to be here every weekend in November, like on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Some weekends it's just Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But so a lot of folks, you know, the wonderful thing about this, the older folks remember, as in their childhood, the old equipment here used. You know, they not only in the Smoky Mountain Park, but in their neighborhood would have done something like this, and so it stirs a lot of memories for the older people, and the young have never seen anything like it. So it's a very popular thing for us to come here and do this. Yeah, we have a tremendous following, and then of course, you know, when we come here, we sell our syrup here, and or the park sells it. They buy it from us and they sell it. And Sherry there is she stays at the table there and talks to folks and tells them about what we do and the old-time way of sorghum making. So it's a wonderful way where we live at Muddy Pond. We make lots of sorghum. This year we had 70 acres of cane, and we got done day before yesterday, and we made 9,478 gallons of syrup. That's a lot of syrup, but it's all modern, so making that much syrup, we really don't have enough folks that come to the farm to be able to sell that much sorghum. But by us going out doing demonstrations in a place like this where lots of people come by, and we get to sell a lot of syrup for it. So it helps us all to survive on the farm. And Sherry and I really enjoy doing this.
Y'all can watch them on YouTube. There's 12 episodes on the Appalachian Channel that I filmed over the past year. Shows them cutting the cane, and
you can watch all our machinery working and walk you all the way through it, tell you all about how it's done. But it's just the Appalachian Channel. It's a great channel.
Well, just Google the Gunthers of Muddy Pond, and it'll take you right to the videos on YouTube.
Yep.
They have a big mill where they make all this. So we did one whole year, one season. We're starting the second season with them now, another year. That deer just wanders around down there in the field. It don't seem to
have to be a wonderful place to be a deer to know that its life is not threatened.
That's right.
Yeah. So those weird looking trees there, those little bit dark trees, those are wild cherry trees. And back earlier in September when we came here, there was a mama bear came. Well, first of all, the 3 cubs came and climbed up in the tree, and then the mama bear climbed up in there and was there with them. My mules didn't really know what to think about them. They'd look over there, but it didn't take very long, and mama bear was concerned, and she came down and she stood up on her hind legs right on the other side of that tree, and I don't know what she did, but she got the attention of the little ones, and they out of there and they left. But yeah, Cades Cove is quite an amazing place. Yeah. Lots of history. You know, we can we can disagree about what our government does or what it doesn't do, but one thing I think we could all agree on, the government did a wonderful thing when they made national parks, especially the Smoky Mountains. It's free, other than a parking pass now, but we can all come here and enjoy it, and it's not being pilfered with making money, and it's a wonderful, wonderful place. Yeah. Preserving nature at its best. Yep.